Welcome back, viewers and subscribers. It's your girl, Star Flames, and we are back with another banging video. In this video, guys, we're going to talk about JAYZ accuser responding to JAYZ's lawsuit. She's saying that she's terrified of him, but she stands by her claims. And because she's so terrified, that's the reason why she had dropped the lawsuit against him. But if you guys know what had happened with that lawsuit, you guys would know that this is not true. What she's saying about, being terrified of him being the reason why she dropped that lawsuit, it's not factual. tonybuzbee filed the lawsuit in a courtroom that he's not barred to practice. And normally, whenever you're filing a lawsuit in a courtroom or a district that you're not barred or licensed to practice, tonybuzbee would have need to got a letter, right? It's called a pro hac vice. And this is basically, asking the court permission, letting them know that you have a case, you have a client that you're going to represent, and you're basically asking the court's permission to allow you, to represent your client in that courtroom. And then what the judge would do basically is to just note it in the court records that you have been granted clearance or permission to proceed with the lawsuit. So when Busbee submitted his request for the pro hac vice, it was denied on the 13th, and as such, and that's why he dropped the lawsuit. That's the reason behind it. But let's get into this report, guys, so that you can understand what this girl is saying, because with her making these claims, it's really not making any sense if you're thinking from a logical perspective. She's saying that she filed the lawsuit anonymously, and as such, she has no idea how it is that JAYZ would be able to identify who she is. But that is a simple answer, because if you filed a lawsuit against someone through the legal system, then all JAYZ had to do or his attorney was to let the court knows that he wants to basically countersue. And then at that point, they would either say, you know what? There's a legal document here from her medical team, that insists that her identity be held private, and as such, we cannot disclose that information to JAYZ or his attorney, but you can submit the lawsuit to us and we will have it served to Jane Doe. Or if there's no medical documentation on her docket in the court system, then what the court would do is basically release her identity to JAYZ, because they would look at the reason why the lawsuit has been dropped and say, okay, yes, we can go ahead and reveal her identity to him. And then as such, at that point, then JAYZ's legal team would serve her with the lawsuit. Now, she's also saying that JAYZ has investigators basically taunting her, and I don't know how that would happen, knowing that tonybuzbee has already filed a lawsuit against JAYZ, and it's a class action lawsuit. And this is what is so highly questionable about her claims. She says that 2 investigators told her that they were sent to her by JAYZ's attorney. That is not making any sense. It sounds immature, and it sounds as though when someone is making up stuff but is not really good at telling a lie. Because if JAYZ was going to bully and intimidate her, they would do it. So, because remember that JAYZ is a businessman. They have been in the industry for so long. And if JAYZ's attorney is going to do this, according to her, ain't no way the attorney would be telling the investigators, okay, you're going to go to Jane Doe. And when she asks you who you are, let her know that I sent you. It's not making any sense. No one would give away themselves like that, especially an attorney like Alex Spiro. Alex is a lot smarter than that. Even tonybuzbee himself, even though he's not so tactful as Alex Spiro, even Tony Busby himself would not make such a dumb move. That's literally one of the dumbest things that anyone can say, that, oh, the investigators told me that, they were sent by JC's attorney. That does not make any sense, because already Tony Busby has a class action lawsuit, which includes Alex Spiro and JC's affiliates. So they would not, even if they did that at first, they would not repeat such a mistake twice. And this is how you know this girl is lying. Now, another thing that should have clearly indicated to us that she was lying from the get-go was when she spoke about that limo, because after she said that one of Diddy's men picked her up at Radio City, she said she was picked up by a limo driver. And then after she made that claim in the lawsuit, Gene Deal came out and said it can't be true, because at that point, they were not using any limos whatsoever. And you guys know that Gene Deal has always been speaking out about JAYZ and Diddy. And if he has said a lot, I don't see why he would hide that bit of information. So I'm inclined to believe what Gene Deal had said. And not just that, remember, it is the very same VMA bandit whose father said he did not drive such a distance, and he did not make the drive to pick her up, because if he did, he's sure that he would have remembered it. So you can definitely tell that something is going on with this girl, as JAYZ is saying. He suspects that she has a history of mental illness, and it's given the sense that that's the case. Also, it is given the sense that she's been manipulated by Busby, but I believe that during their investigation and probing in this lawsuit, a lot more is about to be uncovered. Now, according to reports, they're saying the anonymous woman who accused JAYZ of Howard in a since dismissed lawsuit is sticking by her story, and she says he is intimidating and terrifying her. The Jendo who sued JAYZ and Diddy for allegedly awarding her when she was 13 years old, when she was a 13-year-old girl, doubled down on her claims in new legal docs obtained by TMZ, and she says of is trying to bully her into saying her accusations are bogus. Now, in the docs, the woman claims she was recently approached outside her home and cornered by two people who told her they were investigators working for one of JAYZ's lawyer. That right there does not make any sense whatsoever. Now, let's continue. Now, she says that in the report, it says, no, she claims the people tried to get her to sign an affidavit stating that her claims against JAYZ were false, but she refused. That's not making any sense either, because JAYZ would not send anyone out there to force her and to sign an affidavit. That is not making any sense. The lawsuit has been dropped, and it has been dropped without prejudice, which means that she cannot file the lawsuit again. Now, the report further states the woman also claims the alleged investigators asked her if her attorney, Tony Busby, sought her out as a client and offered her money to pursue false claims against JAYZ. Two allegations she says she denies. Not making any sense. She claims the alleged confrontation left her intimidated and terrified, wondering how they found her when her identity had remained anonymous in media reports as legal proceedings. And this is how you know she's telling a lie, because if she had any inclination as to how the legal system works, she would have known that, yes, it is the court that gave JAYZ my info so that he could retaliate in his lawsuit. But she's just making up stuff, and as such, it's why it is so flaky. It's not connecting seamlessly. She thinks that she's doing a good job of putting these lies, forward, but they will only stand to harm her in the long run. Now, The woman even claims her parents were approached by 2 investigators asking similar questions about Busbee and her R story. JAYZ accuser sued him late, so they go into the lawsuit late last year. Now they're saying in the new doc, she revealed she decided to drop the claim because she was frightened by the reaction from JAYZ and his supporters. She says she feared she would be publicly outed and subjected to public attacks. How would you be subjected to public attacks when the public still has no idea who you are? It's not making any sense. Now they're saying JAYZ is now suing Busbee and the woman claiming she admitted to making the old R word story up and told Busbee it was bogus before he moved forward with the claim. But she says that's not the case, and Busbee says JAYZ allegations are bogus. So that's the end of that report. Now, I honestly believe that Busbee is orchestrating her to do this in order to just fight back against the lawsuit. But common sense at the end of the day and legalities is what's going to end up getting her, along with Busbee, in some serious trouble, because these claims that she's making, it is literally not making any sense. You can't be afraid of backlash and retaliation from his fans because his fans has no idea who you are. And not just that, we're in the era we are in. No one is defending celebrities. The only celebrity that people will defend is Ye. And no one is going out to attack any accuser, not even on Ye's behalf when it comes to these allegations. So as such, she is lying. No one knows who she is besides those who were involved in the lawsuit. If social media had even the slightest inclination of who she was, her identity would have long been exposed. Her information would have long been all over YouTube. And as such, you can literally tell that she's lying. She's just making up stuff as she goes along. So it's not going to be beneficial to her. It doesn't matter how she tries. The lies will be exposed at the end of the day. Now, as I've said before, we all know that JAYZ is not a saint, but you could tell from the get-go that the allegations that was levied against him by this young lady are completely false. But guys, it's your time to chime in. What's your take? While you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up, share, stay safe, and see you all in the comment section. Peace.